What's poppin' YouTube? It's Young Men's Daily Red Pill, back with another video. Thank you guys for clicking on today's video, liking the content, sharing the content, helping me spread this red pill message. And before we get started, I already know you guys are gonna come at me with the, what are these? Like, come on, like you upgraded your mic, the setup looks different, but then you got these janky headphones, these janky pink cheap airplane headphones on. Yes, I understand that, but that doesn't take away from the message. We're all men here. If you want to support I'm a college student, all right? So if you want to support the channel, you want to help me continue to make upgrades to this channel, just maybe watch the ads or you can support. But yeah, for now, I'm going to be sticking with these just because, these are the only headphones I have right now that are currently able to plug into this microphone directly, all right? But that doesn't take away from the fact that I will still be delivering your daily dose of red pill knowledge, all right? That doesn't take away the fact from it. So if you can just ignore the surface level, the exterior, and take in the information I'm giving you and expand your knowledge and you absorb the red pill content, then we will have no issues here, all right? Then we will have no issues here. So let's dive into today's topic, and it was sent to my email from a subscriber. Remember, guys, if you want to send me anything directly that you want me to respond to, you can either join the Patreon and message me and tell me what you want me to respond to. Plus, you get a free consultation. We could talk about anything. It doesn't have to be in relation to anything I talk about on this channel. It could be about anything. You can send it to youngmensdailyredpill@gmail.com. And the title of this email that was sent to me, it's titled, "Sweden may allow men to opt out of parental rights during the pregnancy." This is big news. They might allow men to opt out of parental rights during pregnancy. I'll let you know if I'll read the article that's attached to it, but I'll let you know also if I really think this is going to happen, living in this gynocentric society, but we will read this article with no further ado. Let's dive into it. So the title of this article is, "Should Fathers Have the Right to End the Pregnancy?" All right, I have to be careful with my wording here on YouTube, so we will just call it "Ending the Pregnancy." It starts with an A, and it sounds like cohort. It rhymes with cohort. All right, let's talk about it. When plus signs appear on the pee sticks, the result is often joy, parental planning, and excitement about the impending pitter-patter of tiny feet. Then again, plenty of unwitting dads-to-be feel only two things: regret and dread. Roughly half of all American pregnancies each year are unplanned, meaning both the woman and the man, be they partners, exes, or one-night stands, or affairs, sustain a shock from the appearance of those two little blue lines. Conventional liberal thinking has it that it's the woman's choice whether or not to have the baby. But a recent proposal in Sweden seeks to give men the right to choose, quote unquote, legal termination by not terminating the pregnancy, but by declaring they'll opt out of the child's life financially and physically. They would have to do so before the 18th week of the pregnancy, the point at which the termination becomes illegal in Sweden. And this is a pretty based quote right here from a female attorney that goes by the name of Ann Mitchell. This is a very base quote, all right? When I first read this article, I literally had to look at this quote again because I was like, wow, she's base as hell. She goes on and says, "Women have all the power to determine whether or not a man will end up supporting a child that they never planned and may well have been told couldn't happen. How many friends do you know out there, or family members do you know out there, or maybe it was you, you hit it, you possibly got her pregnant, someone that got her pregnant, she said she was on birth control. There's so many different forms of birth control out there. There's like 70. And, it still lies on the shoulders of the man to be responsible when she's the one that, for the most part, if she's going to tell you that she's on birth control 9 times out of 10, all right, and she's going to lie to you when in fact she just wanted to have your child, but she just didn't want to tell you, and she just wanted you to knock her up, all right? Especially if you're a guy that's focused on your purpose, you're getting a lot of stuff done, you're going to be a man that's in demand, all right? A lot of women are going to try to trap you eventually. So then this quote goes on and says, you'll pay a fee and fill in some papers to have the law on your side, says Marcus Nilsson, chairman of the LUF VOST, a party that floated the idea. As you might imagine, Nilsson and his left-leaning millennial cohorts have gotten an earful from feminists, conservatives, and even liberals. But not for me. But Nilsson, who likes to point out that the under 18 women floated the proposal, says it's just a starting point for a discussion about fatherhood and realistic roles for men in modern family, and not up for national debate. ... Yet. Okay, so it's not there yet, but we're progressing. Sweden is very liberal, Nilsson says, but tends to swing to the right when it comes to children, men's rights, and their obligations. Might have to move there. Right? I might have to add that to the list. So whom would a legal male termination of pregnancy benefit? Nilsson claims it would protect men from women looking to trap them into fatherhood, either by lying about infertility or birth control. Wow. But he notes it also works the other way by enabling more honest responsibility from the man and helping men to, quote unquote, make their choice either way, but legally. In other words, better to be a certified deadbeat dad than a child support shirker. The article goes on and says, Ann Mitchell, a Boulder, Colorado-based attorney and retired professor of family law, likes the idea, saying she's seen too many cases of women fooling men into impregnating them. The idea, she argues, would even, quote unquote, a playing field that has been uneven for far too long. And if you'd like to come onto the show, hit up my Gmail, DM me. Love to talk to you in person. You are based for a woman. All right, you are based. Unfortunately, a lot of these women, they become based once they've hit the wall. Just throwing that out there. But, you know, I still appreciate you looking out for mankind, all right? I appreciate you, Ann, for just thinking about men for once in a world that loves to just disrespect men, walk all over us. You've actually thought things through and thought about what it would be like to be on the other side of an illegitimate pregnancy, a pregnancy that you were lied to about. The women, in turn, would get all the information they need to assess the situation before the cutoff date for the termination, and no longer be left wondering whether the man in question would stand by their side. This is more fair, Mitchell says, because it will, quote unquote, place responsibility for their actions squarely on their own shoulders. Ideally, of course, men and women would share equal parental responsibility. And she goes on and says, but at this point, women have all the power to determine whether or not a man will end up supporting a child that they never planned and may well have been told couldn't happen. Women also retain the power for opting out by having a physical termination, and yet men cannot stop them from terminating pregnancies they might want to keep. Everything in the law currently allows women to decide everything that goes down within that pregnancy. Men have no rights as far as pregnancy goes, except for paying child support. That's it. She goes on and says, letting the reluctant dads, quote unquote, opt out during the same window of time that a woman can make that choice starts to move toward fairness and balance. Amen, Mitchell argues, adding that she ditched the word termination to inflammatory in favor of opting out or renouncing. And in Sweden, Nilsson says the Youth Wing's National Conference will address the issue later this year, and that any resulting motion is unlikely to be discussed by the party proper before 2018. He admits it's unlikely to pass, and he's not even sure the proposal is the best way possible forward, but he's asking people not to throw the baby out with the bathwater and to consider equalizing the legal path to parenthood. Wow. Let's read the comments underneath, because, you know, there's always going to be those angry feminists in the comment section below. So Janice goes on and says, no, this is a very bad idea. too many guys would abuse this right, like women haven't already for all these years that they've had the legal system in their hand and all the parental decisions in their hands. Like they haven't blown those decisions already, and they haven't been able to abuse their power. Single motherhood would skyrocket, and all these children will get off scot-free. Well, these women had the decision to let these men procreate with them. You know, they weren't forced, unless they were forced. I'm hoping they weren't. But, you know, these women chose to spread it wide open for these men in particular. All right. And not only that, go in raw and then bust right inside them. At the end of the day, no one's forcing you to do that, sweetheart. You chose that man. All right. So if he leaves in the end, or you lie to him, that's your responsibility. Okay. All right. That's your responsibility for picking that man. I'm going to hold you accountable for that. Far too many people let these women get off, if you want to use Janice's words, scot-free nowadays, simply because they were born a woman. But the tides are starting to change. All right. Men are starting to wake up. Society's starting to wake up. The fact that this is even an article, this is being discussed, it shows you that the power dynamics are starting to shift within this country and with other countries in the West. So another chick goes on to say in the comment section, so the man can just say he wants out, and if the mother falls into poverty, the child lives in poverty, even if the father is wealthy. When will they learn? When will they learn? When will they learn? When will they learn that it's their responsibility as well? You see, in a perfect world for a woman, they would like rights to everything with zero responsibility. But that's in a perfect world. That simply doesn't exist, all right? They want that to happen. They want that to be the case. We've actually seen the results of this and just the decline of the West, the decline of everything that's going on. And you know what? People are starting to wake up. Fathers are starting to wake up. People that make the laws are starting to wake up. And they realize women should not be in charge of the entire pregnancy process, and that men should have some type of voice. It's sad hearing statistics like there's been more terminations in the black community than there are births since 2010, or statistics like that. And there needs to be an end to this, because this is dark, this is demonic, and at the end of the day, why can't the man make that decision as well? Because it's also a part of him. It's also his life, his seed. But either way, I think the world is becoming a little bit more based, and I think this content's going to continue to spread. I think a lot of men are just getting tired, men and women. We saw some women give their feedback in this article. I will link it in the description if you guys want to check it out and you want to add your comments to this. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a possibility in the future? What are your thoughts about it if it does happen? And you know, I'm personally starting to notice a real shift though. A lot of women are starting to wake up when they're a little bit younger, because you know, the older women are starting to freak out. The ones that already hit the wall, that are past the wall, that chose a career over the family, over the husband. And they're starting to realize, like, we need to tell the young women about what's really going on, and how, you know, we can't have it all, and you can only choose what you can have, because something's going to take a hit, whether it's your family, whether it's you finding a good husband, something's going to take a hit. All right. Your weight, your health. And I think this is a step in the positive direction for society. All right. I think this is a good thing. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video, share this video, and I'll hear from you guys in the comment section below. Until next time, have a good one. Stay blessed. Stay red pill. Stay based. Peace and blessings. I'm out of here.